The collective unconscious is a concept in psychology that refers to a shared, inherited layer of the unconscious mind that all humans have in common. Unlike the personal unconscious, which is made up of an individual's memories and experiences, the collective unconscious contains universal symbols, themes, and instincts that influence thoughts and behaviours. These universal patterns, known as archetypes, appear in myths, stories, and cultural traditions across different societies. The idea suggests that humans are born with a deep-rooted psychological structure that shapes how they perceive and respond to the world, even if they are unaware of it. This helps explain why similar symbols and themes appear in different cultures, even when those cultures have never interacted. The concept of the collective unconscious was developed by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung in the early 20th century. Jung observed that people from different cultures shared common myths, religious ideas, and dream symbols, despite having no direct contact with each other. He believed this could not be explained solely by personal experience or learned knowledge. Instead, he proposed that these patterns were inherited from the experiences of early humans and passed down through generations. Jung argued that the collective unconscious was not something people consciously accessed, but rather something that shaped their instincts, emotions, and perceptions. His ideas were influenced by his study of world religions, ancient myths, and his work with patients who had recurring symbolic dreams. There are many examples of the collective unconscious in myths, literature, and everyday life. One well-known example is the hero's journey, a story structure found in cultures across the world. This pattern, seen in ancient legends as well as modern movies, follows a hero who embarks on a difficult quest, faces challenges, and returns transformed. Another example is the shadow archetype, which represents the darker, hidden aspects of the human psyche and appears in folklore as monsters or villains. The wise old mentor is another recurring archetype, seen in figures like wizards, elders, and teachers who guide heroes toward wisdom. These repeated patterns suggest that certain symbols and narratives are deeply ingrained in human psychology, even if people are not consciously aware of them. One strength of the collective unconscious is that it provides a useful explanation for why similar themes and symbols appear across different cultures. If people around the world independently create similar myths, rituals, and artistic symbols, this suggests that there may be an underlying psychological structure that influences human thought. Another strength is that it helps psychologists understand how inherited instincts shape behaviour. The idea that humans share deep-rooted fears, desires, and patterns of thought can explain why people often react in similar ways to certain situations. Additionally, the concept of archetypes has been widely used in storytelling, literature, and film, helping writers and artists create characters and narratives that feel universally meaningful. Despite its strengths, the idea of the collective unconscious has faced criticism. One weakness is that it is difficult to scientifically prove. Unlike other psychological theories that can be tested through experiments or observations, the collective unconscious is largely based on interpretation and symbolic analysis. Another criticism is that similarities between cultures could be explained by shared human experiences rather than an inherited unconscious. For example, the hero's journey might appear in different cultures because all societies value bravery and personal growth, not necessarily because of a collective unconscious. Additionally, some critics argue that Jung's theory overgeneralizes human nature and ignores cultural differences. While archetypes may exist, the way they are expressed can vary greatly depending on history, language, and social structures.